Morning all. Welcome to the Stakeholder Engagement meeting. I guess we'll start the agenda off with introductions. I'm Ryan, I'm the project manager for this Platypus habitat project. And we'll start with you, Taylor, I guess.
My name's Taylor. I'm a project coordinator at the EGCMA, working on the Platypus habitat program with Ryan.
My name's John. I'm the Land and Program Officer at DCUP, and part of my role is dealing with permits on public land.
Yeah, cool, thank you. So I guess this meeting I'm just bringing you guys in here to discuss some issues we've got with the planning of the project, and we'll try and work out some resolutions so we can get rolling on the project. The project is currently being planned. We're in the approval process. We've got to have a chat around some issues that have been raised by Taylor and myself around some sort of issues around like the permit process for DECA and some other minor issues around budget overrun and things like that. So I guess I'll start by reading out the issues log. And we can just discuss it as we go.
Yep.
So the first one lodged by Taylor was the budget overrun risk. With the planning process, it's showing that there's potential for overspend.
Yeah, so we've got fairly significant outputs that we have to meet with this project, and just with the installation of habitat, some stabilisation, those sorts of things. It's just in today's economy, it's all getting quite expensive, and then just contractor availability in days that we're going to need to do some of these works. It's looking like it's going to be pushing over on that one.
So the reason you're in here is because we are looking at other sites to do some installation of the platypus habitat structures. So we just need further approvals from DECA.
Yep.
The second item was engagement delay with the community. So one of our outputs is to bring in sort of school groups or involve fishing clubs and things like that. And we're having issues getting involvement on a workday basis. So one of the resolutions we've discussed is opening the project up to a community on a weekend sort of activity. And that might be around a boat tour maybe along the river to discuss the project, the installation sites and what we're doing. And DECA will be invited to that as well.
And then at the end of the program, we want to hold like a planting day with the schools and everything, possibly get them involved. But for now, it's just trying to get as much community involvement as we can. And obviously that's quite hard during the week when everyone's busy working, so.
Yeah, well, I guess from DECA's end, we will have staff available to help out on weekends as well. So just keep me updated with your plans on that side of things.
Yeah. The third item is just approvals through DECA. So we obviously need land manager approval. We've had the approval for in a little while, and it's just found it to be a bit of a slow process. So that's something we need to discuss further and talk about options on improving that process.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of a process to that. So you would have seen there's an application form that requires a fair bit of information, which I believe you've submitted. I guess a couple of questions I have is the mapping up to date with these new sites that you want to install more habitat on?
Yeah, so I'm working through that now. Can send that through. We're also working closely with traditional owners as well to make sure that we're ensuring that aspect of the permit too, doing our cultural heritage assessments and everything, and also having traditional owners out on site to do any sort of scoping and everything that needs to be done as well, to make sure that we're ticking all that part of the permit off too, but also wanting to have as much traditional owner involvement as we can as well. So.
Yep, no worries. Well, yeah, there's like I said, it's a bit of a long-winded process, and there is a backlog in public land permit applications. But I'll look into that and I'll see how I can fast track it.
Thank you for that. That's great. So the installation sites, we've had some discussions with landowners around where we can install the platypus habitat, and we have one site, the landholder doesn't want to allow us access to that part of his property. So we're looking at, as I said, we're looking at other installation sites with other landholders, and that's something that we'll update you on and send out some updated maps for further approvals when we get to that stage.
Yep.
We're just trying to avoid the risk of having to sort of remove too much native vegetation or anything to try and get some of those habitats in. There's obviously going to be a small amount of disturbance, but limit that where we can. So just trying to be really selective on where we're putting those.
Yeah, not a problem. And yeah, if you could really specify those areas that may need native vegetation removal, that's something we can assist with as well.
Yeah, thank you.
So the next topic is we have an issue with human resource availability for this project, and we're wondering if we could engage DECA to do some common opportunities to join the team for maybe in a 6-monthly period to help deliver the project.
Okay. And what would the role entail? What sort of skills would you need?
I think it'd be just supporting me where possible. We've got quite an extensive program operating this year, so it's obviously quite a big project itself with the platypus habitat. So just having some support in being able to focus on that. So whether that's getting out and doing a bit more stakeholder engagement, community involvement, really sort of looking at those sites, helping with a bit of admin, mapping, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So similar to your sort of project officer roles as well.
Yeah.
Sort of same but different, working in the catchment and everything. So pretty much just a support to myself to help get this program up and running.
Yeah, okay, no worries. Well, in the landed programs team, we've got quite a large amount of staff, and I can put the word out there and see if anyone's interested.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We have another issue with lack of contractor availability. We only have maybe 2 contractors that have the gear required to do the work, which is forcing the cost of the project up to and our budget projections are a bit higher than we anticipated. So that's things that Taylor and I will look into further and discuss with you when we've sorted out who we can use and sort of best methods to keep the budget on track.
Yeah, we know you guys sort of use similar sort of contractors for this, so if you've got any recommendations as well, we'd be more than happy to hear and see if we can engage them to assist with the project too.
Yeah, no worries. I guess our contract with this extends right through to Melbourne, so we've got a fair resource there of contractors we use, so I can pass it on.
Yeah, we'd obviously like to use as local as possible, stick with people on our panel, but just as Ryan mentioned, with the availability and cost and everything, if we have to sort of extend a little bit
get some more
beyond,
options.
then just see what we can work with. So
pass those details on to me, and then we can engage those contractors and get some further pricing off them.
Yeah, no problem.
If you know of anywhere we can source timber as well, there's a fair timber shortage, obviously in East Gippsland at the moment, so if you've got any connections on where we can source timber, then helpful as well.
No worries, I'll look into
that. So the next topic on the agenda would be sort of discussions on how we can improve the approval process through DECA to gain sort of land manager approval more timely process. As you mentioned, you've got quite a backlog. We were discussing maybe methods of a second point of contact. Maybe we could set out a timeline requirement schedule for these application processes so we can ensure the application is approved in a manner that will suit our schedule or scope of the projects.
Yeah, so I guess looking to, I understand there's delays on this one, and I'll go through the process to try and get that rectified and fast track it as I can. But looking forward to future applications, the best thing would be to arrange a meeting with the relevant officer at the time, and really outline the timelines for when you need these things, and also allowing extra time for the application, from the start to make sure that you can get all the information together and submit it and have it approved in the right time frame.
I think that'd be really good with that's a common opportunity as well. Whoever might step into there, be able to give us a better indication on how you guys operate as well, how we're submitting things, where we can better things, and how we can work with yourself on those timelines and everything as well. So
making sure all the information required is there. Because those are things that can hold up the process if they have to go digging for further information, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's something we can make improvements on our end, and maybe include sort of an allowance for in the project scope for a longer approval process than we're used to in the past. The next point is the methodology around contact between Deaker and ourselves, and how we can communicate and keep each other updated. How often would you like to be updated during the project works, and what information would you require from us?
I guess at each sort of milestone, possibly at each project stage, if once you're about to commence certain parts of the project, it would be good to touch base and get an update.
Even just an email communication, or have a couple of site meetings and everything as well.
Email's good, and even a sort of a progress meeting over Teams is fine as well.
No, that'll be easy, and we will record all that information through the project documents and communications tab for any future reference as well. And that can be WBS tasked to remind us to keep in contact with you and other stakeholders. Upcoming milestones. So the upcoming milestones for the project, obviously the project approval process. We're in the planning stage at the moment. We are, as we've just discussed, the permit approvals are waiting to come through, but we have some updating to do on our end on that, and we'll send some updated maps to you guys. Resources around contractor selection. So Taylor's been working on that, looking at other contractors, and we'll get some more further information from you around other contractors that might be suitable for the project, and then we can work on engaging those contractors. And then once that's all in place, we can get the on-ground works commencing. And maybe we'll do an on-site meeting prior to the on-ground works commencing, just so we can discuss and see what it looks like prior to the works starting.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So I get, the final agenda item is just any further questions and clarifications from you guys.
Not a problem. And I guess to add to the permit stuff, ensuring that you include the type of, say, machinery and stuff you'll have on site, so we can understand what impacts that might have to the land. And just to reiterate the importance of marking those areas where native vegetation might be removed, and the impact that could possibly have. We'll give you a species list on what we'll be planting to replace any native vegetation that's been removed. And I guess one thing I want to ask too is, have you done any previous sort of habitat surveys to see the vegetation that's there and what might be living in that vegetation? Have you done that?
We haven't. No, that's something that we'll add into the project, so that'll be a good thing to include into the project for future reference. I think that's a really good idea.
We can work closely with ARI as part of Deaker, and even get some eDNA testing and some vegetation surveys and everything done as well. So that'd be great.
That sounds good.
And we have plans to do eDNA testing prior to the project commencing and after, to see sort of the level of platypus involvement in the area, in those reaches where the habitat's going in.
Okay.
And just with the secondment opportunity, we'd probably be looking at about 12 months. The program itself runs for sort of 18 months, and we're a couple of months into that now.
Yep.
So yeah, if we could get someone over the next sort of 3 months and have them for the next 12 months to the end of the project, that'd be really good support to help get that sort of see from start to finish. And
Yeah, no worries. I'll send out an email and get some interest, and then we'll go through the formal process.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
And I guess the final thing is once we've got the contractors selected, we will let you know, and we can get the project approvals finalised, and we'll be all free to keep rolling on with the project, I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for your time today. That was really appreciated. I'll write some notes down, and we'll be in contact with the next steps of the project and keep you informed.
Great.
No worries. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
that, John.
Thanks.
Thank you.